Well, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you are not alone. Nearly 2/3 of Americans say they're struggling to make ends meet. Local wealth advisor Gregory Ricks from Gregory Ricks and Associates is here with ways to help you live more comfortably. First of all, thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Leslie.
And your first tip is just simply create a budget. We should all do it. A lot of people just don't take the time to do so.
Yeah, a lot is 73% of the people do not have a budget, and it's probably the most important part. The realization of what's going on in your life. You know, it's kind of like an audit. I always kind of say a recession eliminates businesses that live on borrowed money. More than half the people are living on credit, and half of those find that it's not manageable. So the first place to start is creating a budget and find out what's going on. And then you need to
track your spending.
And
the budget will help you do that, so they kind of go hand in hand.
Track your spending, then you're going to look for what are your expenses, and that's really the hard part. You know, one thing I always say is short-term pain leads to long-term gain. So it's hard to cut, but it's something we need to do to change things and create some margin. That way you can start building an emergency savings account. Then that will change your life going forward.
Well, you talk about the emergency savings account. How much money should people have in there?
You know, one of the sayings is have 6 months worth of expenses, but let's get simpler to that. Let's have $5,000 to where if something happens, you have a cushion. Sometimes that 6-month goal is just too big. A smaller one is a good place to start from that. And once again, it creates margin.
And you mentioned track your expenses and then cut some of your expenses. Just give us an example of how everyday Americans struggling to make ends meet. What's something that they could cut that would be easy to do?
Subscriptions.
Sure. Okay.
The streaming accounts. You know, there's simple things that we don't think about and we take for granted, and over time these expenses build up. And sometimes it's just cutting back. It might be dining out, might be simple as that, reducing some of the cable channels. Hate picking on streaming and cable companies, but there's some things we can do without for the short term, start impacting, and start putting money towards eliminating credit card debt. There's way too much debt, and if you don't have emergency savings, you're probably living off of credit cards, which creates a downward spiral.
Right. Another tip you have, increase your income. Easier said than done. What are some ways to do so?
One simple way, so many people get a tax refund at the end of the year. Right now, you should probably be taking that monthly, and whatever that goal was at the end of the year, start taking that monthly. Maybe you start by asking for a raise or picking up a side gig. You've got to put in some more time to create a better lifestyle going forward.
I'm going to ask for a raise right after the show.
Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Absolutely. The worst they can say is no, right?
Yes.
Set financial goals is your last.
You know, one of the things I like is a picture board, goals. It gives us a purpose of why we're doing this. If it's to have a vacation, to have some freedom, to even reduce work in the future, you know, or spend time with the kids and do some fun things, and make pictures of it so you can see it every day, so it makes what you're giving up, the suffering right now, for a better future.
I've never heard of the picture board. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I like it.
Gregory Ricks, thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you,
We
Leslie.
appreciate it.